slavimo vredan jubilej, 120 godina od rođenja Dušana Stulara, kompozitora i pijaniste koji je dugo bio prisutan u našoj sredini, ali mu ta sredina, hajde da kažemo, nije zahvalila kako dolikuje, bar ne do sada. Ove godine je red da ga se setimo i da njegovo nasleđe aktualizujemo. Prvo treba reći da je mnogo toga izgubljeno. Ono što je sačuvano, vredno je proučavanja, vredno je slušanja i uživanja, samo ga treba pronaći, srediti, objaviti, učiniti dostupnim. Nadam se da ćemo do kraja ove godine imati prva ozbiljnija izdanja Stularove muzike, njegove džez simfonije, bisera međurodnog umerenog modernizma, njegove klavirske muzike, koja je do sada u vrlo ograničenom obimu, da kažem, cirkulisala kao kultura, a takođe i nešto od njegove pozorišne muzike, koja će prvi put, od kada je nastala, dobiti svoju umetničku transpoziciju.
Što sam saznala za Dušana Stulara samim tim što je bio direktor naše škole Sidor Bajić koju trenutno pohađamo.
Meni se veoma dopada njegova raznolikost. Njegove kompozicije se mogu razlikovati od druge i svaka ima priču za sebe.
Rakit Sofia, Chisatia Fiori.
Usamljeni dečak. Napisao ju je Dušan Stular, kompozitor iz Trsta, koji je dugo živeo, a i sahranjen u Novom Sadu. On se često potpisivao sa pseudonimom Raul Tuntas jer je tajio da piše muziku za igru, koja se početkom 20. veka, kada je on bio mladić, nije mnogo cenila. I ja sam uzela svoj pseudonim. Moje tajno ime je Leda Šalić. Ne govorim svoje pravo ime zbog vršnjaka koji su se urotili protiv jednog jadnog usamljenog dečaka i ne primaju ga u svoje društvo. Ako mu se ja približim, plašim se da će se druga deca okrenuti protiv mene.
Hi, my name is Nadia, and my task is to bully one lonely, sweet boy and to stimulate other peers to be violent and nasty to him. As I understand it well, Dušan Stular was also bullied on many occasions, and his song clearly shows his feelings of sadness deep in himself. Ha ha ha! Oj, jel to neko tužan? Ha! Nja!
And Jelena Vasić,
Laza's ambassadors and correspondents for the English-speaking world. Life should not be taken too seriously.
Even the greatest misfortune should be received with a smile. And those are the words of Dušan Stular, whose life and work we celebrate throughout this program.
Stular was born 120 years ago in Trieste. But for the last 50 years of his long life, he lived in Novi Sad and he died here as well.
His optimistic nature was reflected through his jolly and positive music. So it is not at all surprising that most of his compositions were mainly in major keys.
Dušan Stular was principal of Isidar Bajić Music School.
He was also a lecturer here at the Academy of Arts, where he taught his native Italian. He was also a pianist for dance and movement classes.
Many compositions and improvisations have never been recorded. Many scores were lost.
Leaves in the Wind is Stular's most commonly played piece, and as such it has swept throughout the world. It was recorded in London and was played by Marina Milic in Norway, Denmark, Canary Islands,
England, Russia, and many towns in Yugoslavia.
who had tragically lost his life in war in Ethiopia. When Stular heard about this news, he began to cry. He sat to play the piano, and he composed this entire piece only with his left hand. Can you believe? Even this piece is in a positive F major key.
Meni je jako drago što sam imala priliku da se upoznam sa kompozitorom Dušanom Stularom. Žao mi je što se više ne izvode njegove kompozicije s obzirom da imaju lepu emociju i karaktera kao što je i sam kompozitor nosi u sebi.
go to the flat of Professor Stular in Velika Petrovića Street in Liman for his Italian lessons. He was disciplined, studious, methodical, highly demanding and serious. Totally different person from that flamboyant, jolly pianist and composer we used to know. The first time I met him was when he used to come to hear my mom preparing for exams in a Faculty of Music in Belgrade, because at that time the Music Academy Novi Sad didn't exist. He used to come to this flat, and I remember aura of a very strong perfume of his, which would stay here for hours after he would leave our place. And he would ask, what has Seškica prepared for us today? Thinking, would it be pancakes or rolls with bechamel sauce? Because after the music feast, she would always prepare something specially for him, some delicacy, because she was a fantastic cook. And she would bring those superb meals on a silver plate, served with a proper cotton napkin, and then they would sit here in a salon and discuss and exchange their recipes, and always find out which of special spices would probably fit the best for that particular meal. When he used to come to teach me, then he used to dance around the room and try to lift the atmosphere up. And when we worked on Leaves on the Wind, then I remember vividly the way he used to tell me how to get the brilliant, the sparkling sounds of these arpeggios and these passages. He used to insist of using the whole elbow and all the swing of the hand in order to get this strong wind effect. If we would work on Beethoven, Chopin or something or standard repertoire, because he was very strict with dynamic marks and anything that was written in the papers, he would take off his glasses, and I don't know which kind of dioptry was it minus 15 or 20, I don't know, but he would dig up his nose right into the music and tried to see, and he saw the dynamic marks or everything that he wanted to see. And I was always thinking, how on earth can he see anything from such distance or not distance at all? I never thought then that the Leaves on the Wind will be the most frequently played piece by Stular, because I played it, I can say, all over the world. I always made sure to send him programs, posters, newspaper critics, because I knew that that would make him immensely joyful, and that he would look at them, talk to his plants about these programs. He would imagine the halls where the piece was played. And like the wind, which often aroused the leaves from the ground, the same thing happened with the people across the world wherever I played, that those leaves of the wind aroused people off their seats whenever they would hear it, with appreciation and enthusiasm. I recorded the piece for Fragile Records in London in 1992 in December. But the same year but on the beginning of the year, he passed away. So he never saw the disc, which was produced by Rick Wakeman, which was sold at top price at Tower Records in Piccadilly, and it was sold out very quickly. So God knows who on earth listens this piece now and on which part of the world. And it was recorded on a very first track, very prominent first track. And although he hasn't heard it on the disc, I'm sure that his soul, wherever it is now, not tied down to any bondages, not restrained to this earthbound life, is now listening this music and is dancing on it. And don't forget that I never forget that in his music the most frequent instructions is libero, which means freedom, and brillante, sparkling. So that is his character. If I would portrait in words his character is libero and brillante.